welcome to a very fun episode that we have for you today, and it's all about hair. What to do, what not to do, and what definitely we should not be doing when we are sheltering in place. And we have Nicole here, who is a hair expert who knows all there is to know about hair. So welcome, Nicole. Thank you for joining us, making yourself available to answer all these questions I have. And we're hopefully going to get the answers. I'm Aparna Madireddi. I am the chair of the Open Space Advisory Committee for the City of San Ramon, and I am your District 2 rep for Contra Costa County Census 2020 Steering Committee. If you still have not responded to the census, please make sure you do that. It takes just 10 minutes of your time. Every member of your household should be counted. If you have any questions, you can always email me, aparna@aparnaforsanramon.com, or go to our county's website, cococensus.org, COCOCENSUS, one word, .org. So, Nicole, thank you for being here. My first question to you, you are a salon owner.
Yes.
And your salon's name is Northern Roots in Alamo.
Yes,
correct?
it is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Explain this to me. Do you not think it is an irony that most of the questions I got from women says that my roots are going south?
I fully sympathize with you. So
does that make me a Southern roots group representative of sorts?
Yes.
So tell me, how are your scissors feeling at this time? I mean, the silence has to be deafening, that there is no cuts, no snips. It's just lying there. How does it feel?
It is pretty sad, and I can't wait to get back to doing everyone's hair. I can only cut my husband's and my daughter's hair so many times.
So do you have to practice on someone to stay? I guess to practice. I've been
watching a lot of videos and just kind of trying to hone in on my skills just to keep myself fresh and excited about getting back to doing hair for everybody. So I haven't exactly used my scissors much, but I can't wait to.
Okay. So there is this COVID-19 crisis going on. And then there is this parallel additional crisis going on in the world of many men and women, not just in the United States, we're talking all over the world. And that's our hair crisis. Women mainly love going to salons and spas. They feel that connection. It's their time away from work, family, children, homework, kids, pets, everything. And then this is a place where they can share their heart-to-heart conversations with their stylists, their service providers, whatever.
Yes.
Given that there is so much a salon and a spa offers, do you think it was right on our governor's part to call it a non-essential service and just close them?
I do, because we're in such close contact with people, and especially in the beginning of this, we didn't know how it was spread or we didn't have a lot of information. So I definitely think that while I think I'm essential, and a lot of my clients think that I'm essential, exactly. I don't think hair is that essential, for the spread of the disease. We get so close. We're not even maybe a foot away from somebody, especially when we're shampooing too. You get so close to people. So
okay, so you think it's not a bad decision to close. So tell me this, and I'm sure you're observing this. When I'm not big on social media, but I do pay attention. So before all this started, I used to see pictures of people with their hair done, their makeup done, and they were posting pictures everywhere. And now in the last 2-3 weeks, all I'm seeing is pets, backyards, flowers, what they're cooking. I haven't seen human pictures in a while. Yeah. Does that scare you? Does that make you nervous? Like, what's going on? And then the Zoom meetings, many boxes are just names. There's no faces.
Yeah, so, I'm a little scared to see what I'm in store for when I come back to work.
I can't hear you. What is the worst that you think you're going to see when all this is over?
Home bleaching I have had a client of one of the girls that I work with try to lighten her own hair. And it's basically orange to here and like white and falling off like
Oh
from
my. Oh my.
so it's a powerful chemical and people don't understand how to use it, and that there's not a lot we can do to help that, so
And that would be
yeah.
on them to come and get a correction done, and that'll probably be more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay attention, people.
Yeah.
Don't take this on yourself. Wait for the stylist to do it.
I
Yes.
do offer, I've been offering root touch-up kits though for clients, like porch pickup, gloved, sanitized, for my personal clients, to touch up their roots if they want to. So I do offer that for them. So if there's other people that want to ask their stylists about if they're offering that, I would give them a call to see if that's something they could do at home.
And if they don't have access to it, would you be providing that service to them as well? And then we can take your information?
Yes, it definitely depends on what they're looking for. Anything that's like darkening gray roots, that's something that's easily done at home with a professional product that I can provide. But anything that's lightening or blonding or highlighting, that's something you're gonna definitely have to wait for your stylist.
I see. So before I get to the questions, how would it look for you when everything reopens? Now, everybody is a long-term client. Everybody wants priority booking, and they probably want all the service. So are you going to do a QR code like red for anybody whose roots are all over the place, or bangs still here? And how would you, is there something, a color-coded methodology that you're going to follow? How are you going to do the bookings?
As soon as I know when we can get back in, I will be contacting everyone. But prior to this, I was working 4 days a week. I'll probably be working 6 to 7 days a week to get people in. I won't be double booking anyone because we need to minimize the amount of people that are in the salon. I'll also be offering appointments without blow dries, so that'll create like a little bit more time to get people in. Some people need a blow dry and want a blow dry, and that's one of the major reasons they want to come in. But then some people could give it or take it. So those people, I will get in for a quick appointment, maintenance, there you go. Anybody looking for a color change, they're gonna have to wait a little bit. This is gonna be getting people in for maintenance and just getting people back to the baseline pretty much, so that we can go from there.
So when you say color change, people will have to wait. What is the time frame for them to wait? How long?
At least a few weeks, probably, maybe 3 weeks or so. Yeah, for a color change, right? Like I'm stuck at home and I hate having brown hair and now I want to be platinum. That takes a long time to do in the salon. So
if I want to go blonde, a beach blonde, that would be a 2-month wait.
Yeah, that'll wait a little bit.
Stretching it a lot. Okay, yeah. I see. I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first question, and I must say this came from many, many people. Give me information. My roots are showing. What can I do?
So I would contact your stylist to see if they do offer anything like I am for my clients. But also, this is my best friend when I cannot color my own hair, as you can see. And it's a spray from L'Oreal, Magic Root Cover Up. Mine is the medium brown. One of my clients said that they're on back order right now, so I don't know. I got mine at Target. You could probably get it on Amazon, but it comes on this little nozzle. I don't have a mirror in front of me, so I'm going to try to use the Zoom mirror here, but you can kind of just spray it on.
Oh, neat. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, does this wash off with the next shampoo, or does it stay for
it'll wash off with the next shampoo, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't get on your clothes or your hands or anything?
I mean, if you were, so right now, no, but like it's still a little wet. So once it dries, I'll let it dry a little bit and then I'll show you, but it doesn't really transfer much.
And that really covered up well. So I'm assuming it comes in different colors and women would be aware of it. Men too. Men can use it too, right?
Oh, for sure. Does anyone watch Kelly and Ryan like on
And probably
7 or whatever. It was today or yesterday I was watching, and Kelly was showing everyone how she sprays her roots, and then she lifted her hair up and it was like gray right there. So even famous people are doing it.
So it is doable. Okay, wonderful. That's the number one question that came in. The next one is, how do I care for grown out hair extensions?
Oof, yeah, that's a tough one. There's a few different methods of extensions. So, yeah, that's a tough one. There are ones that are beaded. There's ones that are braided. There's ones
Okay, let's get this answer first. Would you take extension clients, or would they also be bumped off to?
No, I would definitely take extension clients for sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that one's gonna be, that's also a maintenance issue too, right? So
Right.
they pay a
So
lot.
how would they take care of it at home right now? What would they do?
Just keep brushing your hair. The worst thing that can happen is creating matting in between where the extensions and the natural hair is. So do your best at separating where your extensions are and combing in between where the extensions are, so that you don't create matting in between the two.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the type of extension. If they're the beaded ones, if they're on with just these little beads, there are some tools on Amazon that you can get to pop the beads open and take them out yourself. So
would you recommend it though? Can they do it?
Yeah, you could do it. Yeah,
okay.
It's just if you get the right tool. So if you have a question about that, maybe you can leave my information, like my email address.
Okay.
And I can help them through it. Yeah.
Okay. This is a personal question because I was this close to picking up my scissors. What do I do with my bangs? Hello.
Hi. Don't cut them. There's way too many things that can go wrong. Like if you hold it at a weird angle, or you're lifting them up and cutting them.
What if you just go like this? You can't.
If you go like this, it shoves them over to one side. So it'll be longer on one side than the other. There's way too many variables that can go wrong.
So we just let them grow and they just keep coming? Okay.
Let them grow. No one's seeing anybody.
I was on the fence on this. I said, let me just wait to hear what she says before I go. Similar to that, split ends. What am I supposed to do with that? Do I just move them?
Don't cut your own hair. Whatever you do, cutting your own hair is going to probably be the worst thing you can do. Unless you like uneven, jagged ends, then maybe, but I would do definitely a deep conditioning treatment. So this is one of my favorites right here from Unite. It's the Reunite treatment. It has avocado leaf extract in it, which helps strengthen your hair. So this is a good one. It's actually a whole system. So there's a shampoo, conditioner, and a deep conditioner. So that's kind of my favorite for that. And then also a leave-in conditioner is also going to be your best bet for heat protection, even though I would give your hair a rest right now with the heat. Let it air dry. Like, let it just kind of be natural for a while. Don't wash it as often either, because then your natural oils can kind of get in there and condition your hair too. But this leave-in conditioner is also a must.
Do you sell these, or can they buy those online?
Yeah, right now too. Also, if you want to give out my email address or my Instagram, there's a code that I can give you for 30% off and free shipping.
I would like that information. I will add that in so that way people can, whoever wants to reach out can do that. So now you already answered the next question. Should I cut my own hair? You said absolutely not. So that is like the definitely not category.
No. I mean, don't, I'm not saying, don't, but don't. If you want to, like, if you're not afraid to get it all cut off later on when you come into the salon to even it out, then, Can
you cut your husband's and son's hair?
If they want to buzz, sure. If they're willing.
Okay. Because that was another question. Costco has some tools that they can use. Is that okay to use?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I've done a few virtual haircuts for clients who are learning to cut, like wanting to cut their husband's hair. Like they're still going to work or, have to do meetings and stuff via Zoom, and they don't want to look shaggy. So I have walked a few clients through some virtual haircuts with for their husbands. So that's been fun.
So that would be another resource that people would have access to. If you give me that information, we can put that in. So for split ends, you only recommend the products that use something like that, something like a deep
Something like that.
conditioning mask. Okay. Next one is again a biggie that came in is color and bleach. Some of them are saying they're feeling particularly rebellious and they've already colored their hair purple and pink or some weird color, but what should I do now? Now that I've already colored it, should I just let it be or?
Let it be. Most bright colors, like your pinks, your purples, like all that, those are semi-permanent. They don't make the dye molecules permanent for those bright colors, so those will wash out eventually. Yeah, I would just like clarify your hair if you really don't like it, but it will wash out. Those will wash out. Yeah, other than that, I would just wait until your stylist can see you.
What should I do to treat already colored hair?
Like crazy colored or just like your normal color?
I'm assuming normal color that they got it colored before we went into this shutdown. And
Moisture. Anything that's kind of creating like the deep conditioning, the leave-in conditioners, don't wash your hair every single day. I'm trying to go, I used to wash my hair every other day. I'm trying to do every 3 days right now just to see if I can stretch it. And like I have a shampoo that I really like, so I use that to kind of create like a little bit of, so it doesn't look like a total grease ball. But hats have been my favorite on those day 3 days, and you know, just to kind of get through.
I'm glad you brought up hats because that was a question. Should I switch to wigs? or just...
Wigs are expensive, so I mean, if a good wig's expensive, I mean, hey, that's one way you could play around with different colors, right?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. That's a question that came up. Is that something I can okay? Now, a lot of people, this is a segment of population group, I'm assuming, is going through stress and already had hair loss to begin with, but now they're seeing an increase in hair loss. Is there anything they can do, any tips to control that, or essentially to,
I'm right there with you. I like, I'm also, I mean, my baby's about a year old, but I've dealt with a lot of postpartum hair loss too, as you can see. So my hair is falling out like crazy too. So I sympathize with everybody right now. I have clumps of hair that comes out in the shower, and it is a little bit stressful when you see that. So adding that to the stress isn't good. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Drink your water, get some sleep, try to do something for yourself. If it's yoga or take a walk around the block, something. You want to try to find a vitamin that has biotin and collagen in it. That'll help. Some people are experiencing an iron deficiency too, which might deal with some of the hair loss. Your body responds to stress by losing hair and some other, issues, but it will, once the stressor is gone, it will take a little while. It's not going to be an instant thing either where like, oh, I'm not stressed anymore, my hair's not falling out. It takes a while. So it could take up to 3 months for it to stop. So I know that's a little scary, but it will stop and it will regrow, as I just pulled a piece of hair off my computer.
Next one. Yes.
These vitamins, these are my faves. These are Nature's Bounty. I got these at Target. They're the hair, skin, and nail vitamins, and they have collagen and biotin in them.
Okay.
So these ones are good.
Those are recommended for hair loss.
They taste good too.
So that's my next question. Which hair products are safe to buy online? And how do I know the ones that are there are safe for me to use for my hair type?
It's hard because there's a lot of fake products out there, a lot of fake claims out there. I would just suggest talking to your stylist to see if they recommend anything. The whole Unite line, like I was showing you, the gray line right here, the Reunite, is really good for stressed out hair. So if you're wanting something for stress related or just moisture in general, that Reunite line is really good. I work with Unite a lot, so that's the product that I'm most familiar with. So you can go to their website, and like I said, I have that code that I can give you guys too for 30% off and free shipping. But buying stuff off of Amazon or even store-bought stuff, there's not a guarantee that that's gonna like help you. So I would talk to your stylist and see if there's any recommendations.
How long would it take for a product to be shipped? You said you ship it, so.
So the Unite shipments, I just ordered some. It took like 3 or 4 days.
Okay, that's not bad. Then a
Yeah,
week.
it didn't take very long. Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about, well, first thing, styling tips for Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
Do you have any quickie styling tips? Especially for early morning.
A hat. Yeah, I know some people just don't feel comfortable with their hair in a ponytail or don't think it looks professional. But I mean, at this point, I don't think people are hopefully not caring too much about what your hair looks like. Another thing I did want to talk to you guys about, if you are wearing your hair in a ponytail a lot, I would suggest getting one of these little guys. They're fabric. They kind of look like a keychain, like an old school keychain holder. They're really good. They don't put stress on your hair, but they do hold your hair. So it's not like a normal elastic, which might pull your hair. So
where would you buy these? In a Target store?
Target,
Okay,
yeah.
it's available.
Yeah. They have ones that are plastic. Try to look for the ones that are more fabric so that they don't pull. The plastic ones are fine too, but these fabric ones are good. But like you said, for like the Zoom meetings and stuff, especially if you're growing your bangs out and all that kind of thing, I mean, you can kind of get creative and you do a little twist or something and like either pin it with bobby pins. Like I said, you could do a cute little headband. I don't know.
So just be creative is what you're saying.
Yeah.
This one is about shampooing. I don't wash my hair as often as nowadays, but how often should I be using clarifying shampoos, if at all?
Yeah, clarifying shampoos are great. I would do a clarifying shampoo maybe every 5 washes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if there is no product or anything being used, you still like
it's good just to kind of get the extra stuff off your scalp and kind of to do that. I would do one every about 5 washes.
So how many days would go by if you were using products? Say we are back in business and we are out there with our newly
I say do it once a week. The clarifying shampoo that I like, it's called Weekender, and so it kind of is like on the weekends, like let's clarify our hair. So that's kind of one of the ones that I like.
Okay, and then you talked about virtual classes and information. How would people have access to that if they are not your clients?
I do a lot of my stuff on Instagram, so you can find me at Nicole at Northern Roots. Let me make sure that's right. Hold on.
Well, we're going to put that on the slide, so you can send it to me. I'll put it there.
You can direct message me, and I can get back to you. Yeah, Nicole at Northern Roots. Just NICOLEATNORTHERNROOTS. Yeah.
And then would this also be with the 30% discount that you were talking about? Because when I put it on the slide, I want to make sure I am separating it. If it's not, the code would not be applied.
You can message me there, and I can send the link for that for sure. Yeah, and that's only good until April 30th. They might extend it, but right now it's only good until April 30th.
When you say they might, I thought you were the salon owner.
Oh no, the Unite, the brand.
Oh, okay, for that. Okay, yeah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're going to sleep, is there something they should be doing differently at this time versus when they were working? Is there any hair care routine they should be following?
A lot of people don't realize that going to bed with your hair wet is probably the worst thing that you can do for your hair. When your hair is wet, it's actually at its most fragile. So when you're going to bed with your hair wet and you're moving and you're tossing, like you can easily break the top part of your hair. So I would suggest definitely going to bed with dry hair. If you have thick hair or tangles really easy, maybe put it in a braid, like sleep with it in a braid or 2 braids to keep it kind of tamed. But I definitely don't go to bed with your hair wet.
No wet hair. Okay. Well, those were my questions. I mean, the rest you answered with the haircut. I mean, most of it was around roots and color, and I'm assuming color and bleach would fall under the same category. They should not be.
Bleach you should stay away from.
Okay, so that was a question. I just grouped it. I thought that would be under one.
No, color itself, like depending on the color that you use, like if it's one of those fantasy colors, oh, I want to go pink for a week, like that's really just laying on the outside of the cuticle of the hair. So you're really not doing much damage with those types of colors. I mean, you might get stuck with it for a while, but it's not really hurting your hair. Bleach will literally eat your hair off if you leave it on. So, you know, if you're not an experienced hairstylist that knows how to deal with those chemicals, I would not touch it.
I'm assuming it's a very strong, just like bleach. I mean, it would have to be followed by conditioning and stuff like that they don't know. Okay. Anything else that you would like to share? Hair care tips overall.
Let me see. Let me refer back to my notes. Yes. I think we're pretty good. Wearing a pen, wear a hat. As a stylist, I love getting text messages from my clients, just checking in to say hi. And I try to do the same thing with my stylists too. I mean, sometimes we see you more than we see our family and our friends, you know, because a lot of people come in, they just come in even just to chat and say hi. So it's nice to know that people still care that we're out there. And also, please don't beg your stylist to have them come over to do your hair at their house. Like, if we could, we would, but we can't right now. And I don't want to put my license in jeopardy or be fined. So that's just one thing. Like, please don't ask us to do that. Like, as much as we want to, we can't.
I'm glad you brought that up. I saw a post on Nextdoor or somewhere. They said, can somebody come undercover and do my hair? And I'm thinking, you are just jeopardizing yourself, your health, family's health, and the service provider's health.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And that's going to be hard for us when we come back into the salon too. I mean, we have a whole new like sanitation protocol that we're going to have to follow. But when we come into the salon, I'll probably see 10 people a day, you know, so I'm going to be putting myself into jeopardy by seeing a bunch of people. So, you know, it's kind of scary, but you know, we all got to get out there and get on with life eventually. So.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. So anything else? And I'll let the guests who are, hi Shadi, how are you? Hi, and Joan, how are you? Are you able to unmute yourselves? So
yes, hi everybody. Sorry I rolled in a little late, but this was very informative. I appreciate it. Thank you, Nicole. I'm definitely guilty as charged with the sleeping with the wet hair thing. So I'm definitely gonna make sure not to do that. It's not gonna help my case these days.
So please ask your questions. If you have any questions, I just asked a whole bunch of questions that residents had sent me, but if you have anything else that you would like to ask Nicole, she's here. And Nicole, if you have anything else, hi Tatiana, in case you have anything else that you want our viewers to know and follow through, we want to make sure we come to you in one piece when it comes to our hair.
I appreciate it.
I have a question.
She has a question.
Okay, yeah. Hi. If somebody has extensions, so how they can deal with this situation? Because it's not easy. Like, you can grow your hair, you actually grow your roots, but what to do with the hair extensions?
I mentioned before, there's a few different methods of extensions. So if you have them in currently, I would suggest talking to your client or your stylist to see if there's any ways you can maintain them. I was mentioning that if you do have them currently, to make sure that you brush in between the extensions so that you're not creating matting in between where the extensions are in the hair. There's a few methods to remove the extensions too. So depending on which type that you have, I would suggest contacting your stylist, or if you want to message me on Instagram, I could try to talk to you about what kind of method you have and help you out with that. But yeah, going forward, there's a lot of extension options that are pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you use that little spray on extensions as well? The color spray
color?
that you showed?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like I said, it depends on the ones that you have, but the color spray, you can definitely spray that on the roots in between for sure. But I mean, I usually just use this spray for where you can see it, you know? So, and most of the extensions are all under here anyway, so yeah.
So that was my question. Thank you for doing this. And I hopped on a few minutes late. Sorry about that. I had a work call. And so I've been relying on the hats. But did you cover at the beginning about covering like the gray roots? I'm happy to go back and watch the recording so you don't have to prevent.
I did a demonstration. I have some gray hair, as you can see. So you can see I've got my roots there. This little spray can here, which I heard is hard to find these days, but you can try. And you just spray it on your roots. No more gray.
Okay.
So that's a good one. And then also I mentioned talking to your stylist to see if they offer any sort of root touch-up kit that you can do at home, which I've been doing for my clients.
Well, that's what I was wondering. So if is that something that you offer for new clients? Like say we just wanted light brown.
Yeah, it depends. I would need to, for sure, I'd probably just do like a one-on-one Zoom with you or something just to make sure that I could see what color it is and what exactly you wanted. I'd feel comfortable doing that if I could, you know, give you what you wanted. Definitely no blondes or highlights or, you know, anything drastic, but enough for maintenance, yes.
Okay, perfect. Because, you know, in case like my stylist, she doesn't offer that actually.
And also, some stylists might not be offering it, but they might be willing to tell you what your formula is, which would help too. So if they're not offering the kits, they might offer up the formula, and then that would help me a lot too. Okay. So, yeah.
So Nicole, we have a gentleman who joined us, and please, let's have some tips for men and who are looking for some insights of hair care tips and maintenance at this time.
Yeah, I can think of a handful of my male clients right now whose hair is starting to just go like this. Yeah, it might be a time to try out a longer do. Your normal products that you would be using on your hair if your hair was shorter might not be working for you now, so you might want to play around with some different products. Like I said, I've done some virtual haircuts for people, like for wives that have been wanting to cut their husband's hair. Hats are good. Maybe not for professional Zoom calls, but or I mean, all else fades, just grab some clippers and shave it off.
You wouldn't be able to do a quick demo here with the your haircut, would you?
No, my husband's downstairs with my kids right now. We don't want that chaos.
We're going to put all that information when we present this video to the residents. So if there's anything that comes up, please make yourself available to answer them as and when it's convenient for you. Sir, do you have any question for Nicole specifically? And you can unmute yourself, I guess. I think I unmuted everybody. Let me make sure. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, please. No questions?
I can think of a question, and sorry, you might have mentioned this earlier and I rolled in a little late. So I'm in a mood to embrace my gray, and if I want to just kind of transition to going gray, what kind of products are out there to make it look a little more graceful as opposed to patchy and awkward?
I've had more than a few clients ask me about this, and product wise, I mean, there's nothing much like you know, I could really do. But as a stylist, when you come in and you want to change your hair and kind of go more natural, my approach would be to, instead of doing an all over color, we would do low lights of that color. So kind of instead of doing highlights, like I would put in the darker color, so that you don't have like that skunk stripe, or, you know, so it would be more of a graceful grow out. And so every time you would come in, then I would just do a little bit less of the low lights and less of the low lights. And then eventually you've got some, you know, your natural in there.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
So
Hi.
now that I've kind of let my hair go, I've been putting a lot of conditioner on it, but it still gets big. It's like I'm trying to make it a little more sleek, and I don't know what product to use to do that.
Do you have the laser straight at home?
I do. Should I be using that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. That's really good. I mean, try to stay away from heat as much as you can, because I mean, if you're not, like, I mean, are you going out to parties? Are we, you know?
Every night.
Zoom parties.
Yeah, I would work with the laser straight and the oil. I'm not sure if you have the oil or not, but
No, I don't.
do you have the Smooth and Shine?
No.
That might
Okay.
be different.
Could you elaborate on these products so
Sorry.
people who are not aware would also know what to purchase or look and
One of my clients.
of what to do?
Yeah, so the laser straight is a relaxing fluid for anyone with thick, curly, coarse hair. And it smells like cake. It smells so good. It's moisturizing, and it just helps calm down the hair. Smooth and Shine is kind of a hybrid between the laser straight and the argan oil. So it's also really good for smooth and shine and straightening and defrizzing.
So when would we know which one to use? What I thought it was a laser beam or something.
Yeah. So the laser straight, I feel is good for your medium to finer texture.
Okay.
And the Smooth and Shine is good for a medium to thicker hair.
I see. But
Yeah.
you can't use both. You should use either.
One or the other. Yeah,
Okay.
they won't make sense using them.
Is that good for extensions too? People who have,
Yeah.
okay, both
Mhm.
should be using
For
it.
sure, yeah.
Um,
All the products that I've talked about today are good for extensions.
So those who have already colored their hair orange, pink, purple, yellow, and they see stuff happening to their hair and they still can't get to their stylist, if this extends, this lockdown, they should also just resort to wearing hats and just covering it up, scarves. Would they become your priority because they totally cheated on you at this
They
point?
didn't listen to me, so I'm not calling that. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, I'm hoping most of my clients haven't done that, because a color correction is going to take a lot longer. It's going to be harder on your hair, and it's going to cost you a lot more in the long run. So hopefully I don't have a lot of those I'm coming back to. But whatever you do, try not to fix something at home, right? Like, yes, if your hair is like a little yellowy or orange, like, don't go buy a brown like hair color thinking that it's just gonna like cover it. It just might create more problems. So yeah, so I would just try to clarify your hair, treat it well, moisturize, do deep conditioners, anything you do to strengthen your hair, because if we do have to highlight it to get the color out or color over other color, then we need your hair to be as healthy as possible so that we can, you know, not thrash your hair when we fix it.
Of course. I think we covered a lot of things here. Anything else, ladies, that you have that you want to ask? I mean, Nicole is here to help us. And Nicole, that's wonderful information. Thank you so much for joining us with all this. And I'll get all your information to post, and that way if people have an afterthought or another question, maybe they can reach out to you. And I wish you all the very best as we get ready to open up at some point in the future. I'm sure your arms would need massages.
Yeah.
With all the
I'll
clients.
take massage gift cards too if anybody wants to, you know.
I'm sure you'll be much more appreciated from the time we opened till eternity, because people now understand this was a part of our lifestyle and that's gone. And so that's when we start valuing those services and the service providers a lot more. So thank you so much for what you do. Your work is really important. It makes a lot of women, men feel better about themselves, and you help us make it look good. And I think that makes us feel happy. Happy is important. So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who participated. It's so nice to see you. I mean, I love seeing faces. I would love to come and give you all a hug, but it's a virtual hug. So
Thank you so much, Aparna. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
It was nice seeing everybody.
I hope I answered questions, and
You certainly did.
you did. You answered the important questions that people had. So thank you. Enjoy your clients, Nicole, and hopefully they'll come back in the way you had sent them before the lockdown. And you're seeing one of your clients already, so they're all good. They're well behaved. Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. Bye.